So we are doing a series of conversations on the topic of prayer. And Jonathan, one of the things that you and I both know that people struggle with is anxiety. What role would you say that prayer plays with anxiety that we feel?
Big, because it's often our anxieties that bring us to the point of wanting to pray, wanting to ask God for help, wanting to ask anybody for help, and anxiety takes a lot of different forms. It could be like fear and worry and doubt, and it's not just like an anxiety disorder, although that's very real as well. Just our anxious thoughts, it's those kinds of things that drive us to prayer, and a lot of times that's the context for our praying.
Yeah. And anxiety it's more than just a spiritual thing.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. I grew up in church cultures where they just if you're anxious, you just need to pray more and it'll fix that. No, that's short-sighted, and it's unfortunate. A lot of people have been hurt by that kind of thinking. There is a physical dynamic to anxiety. And like I just mentioned, there may be an anxiety disorder. There is an emotional element to anxiety. And if somebody's experiencing enough anxiety, it may be that they need to see a professional, someone that can help them address this from not just a cognitive standpoint, but from a medical standpoint, because there's a lot of help out there. But it definitely is spiritual, right? And sometimes that's all it is, but it certainly is a spiritual thing that God speaks to in the Scriptures. In the New Testament.
Philippians 4 is a wonderful example where Paul says, be anxious for nothing.
Yeah,
right?
Philippians 4, about just a few verses in, he's writing to a group of Christians in the first century, and he says, don't be anxious about anything. Well, that's a big statement.
That's a big statement.
You don't know my life. You don't know what's going on. But he goes on. Instead, pray. Yeah. Right? So pray about everything you would be anxious about. It was like, does that fix it? Does that make it go away? I mean, that's kind of, that's a big thing to say.
Right.
And he didn't say that whatever you're anxious about would go away. He says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything that would make you anxious, pray, and then something will happen. He said, the peace of God that passes all understanding will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. So it's interesting what that is about and what it's not about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, what it didn't say that all your problems were going to get fixed.
Right.
And that's often what we want.
That's exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is making me anxious. So, okay, God, I need you to fix this.
Take it away.
Take it away, and it gets fixed.
Right.
Now, I know sometimes God does that, and it's really cool when God does that. It's a yes.
Yeah.
But sometimes God's not out to change our circumstances as much as He is out to change us.
Yeah.
And so my situation may or may not change, but it will change me. Will change us. Something happens on the inside. And this thing of peace, people misunderstand that a lot. What would you say? Most people think peace is all about?
Oh, it's just a calm and peaceful circumstances, and I feel good.
Right? Yeah, feel. I got that peaceful, easy feeling, and it's all right. You know, it's like got the Eagles playing in the background. Got that peaceful, easy feeling.
Riding around with the windows down.
That's right. Like people think it's like some kind of formula that if I will pray about this, then all of a sudden it's all going to be, it's all good. Now that can happen. All right? Peace can bring feelings with it. But sometimes it's not a feeling. It's just a simple confidence that I've taken it to God.
Yeah.
God's got it. He's got me. I'm not guaranteed of the outcome, but I know that no matter what happens with the situation, God is doing something in my life.
And talk a little bit about how that confidence guides us from that point.
Yeah, well, it guides us because it reminds us, okay, I can't control the situation. If I could control the situation, I would have changed it already.
Right.
I wouldn't be so anxious. Right? I would have fixed it. So that confidence, that peaceful confidence reminds us we're not in control, God is, and it reminds us of our position, and it gives us something to work from. Now I can do life. Now I can actually be productive. I can live. I can go from moment to moment, day to day, when I have that kind of confidence that God's peace brings.
Mm-hmm.